undoubtedly go down in Australian history from Remembrance Day 1975 as Kerr's Kerr.
The Governor-General's action shocked many Australians into realising that their country was still a British colony, or rather a banana monarchy, where democracy could be turned on and off at the request of a very powerful and rich establishment. For Malcolm Fraser, millionaire landowner and now suddenly Prime Minister, power had been returned to its rightful owners.
It's true enough that there may be reserved powers of the Crown, but they didn't matter because nobody had ever exercised them. Now that they've been exercised, obviously people will want to get rid of them. There is a big surge of support in Australia for Australia to become a republic. I would hope that this doesn't mean that Australia would renounce membership of the Commonwealth or dispute the position of the Queen as head of the Commonwealth. But young people and migrants, who constitute a very large percentage of the Australian population, are now more than ever keen to have Australia become a republic. We can't have the situation where a stand-in for the Queen, a viceroy, can do things the Queen herself would never do.
When you won in '72, a euphoria swept over a lot of Australians. Do you believe there was any real justification for their feeling that a new age was beginning in Australia?
We brought new opportunities for Australians, whatever they did, wherever they lived. Obviously, in areas like education, where we made it possible for people to have a complete tertiary education without paying any fees, where we made it possible for people at last to get hospital treatment without payment, where we made it possible for Australians to share in the development of their resources, to see that these didn't go into foreign hands. Australia did come of age. She got into this century. She showed that she had an identity, that Australians could, in fact, make a contribution instead of just depending on their past or their distant friends and associates. You know, those 3 years that we were in will be a landmark, a watershed in Australian history.
The Whitlam years also meant the end of war and of shame and anger for many of us. Australia's young men have usually died fighting somebody else's war, and in Vietnam they fought their Asian neighbours, with whom they had no quarrel, until Whitlam told Nixon to go to hell and brought the boys home, perhaps